Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to the best of what the internet has to offer. This is Geography Stories, and I'm your host, Girl with a Frog Tattoo. This evening, two police came to my door and said, "Look, Yana, there is civil unrest. There are people screaming and crying in the streets, checking themselves into psychiatric facilities, begging, pleading that you return to the air. How could I say no to that?" So here I am again, back to save the planet by talking about the planet. And we're going to kick things off again by talking about extinction. This idea is brought to you by a friend of the channel with the sunny disposition, Geoguessr, or JC, who didn't suggest this episode, but casually remarked recently that there's a meteor heading for Earth. And yeah, it prompted this episode about impact sites around the world, and we're going to take a look at a couple. Thrilling episode planned for you today. So let me minimize my mug and let's begin. So this first location that we've dropped into is the Chicxulub crater in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. And I picked this one for a particular reason. I'll tell you in a short while. I know you can barely handle the suspense. So anyway, this is, I guess, looking out towards the Gulf of Mexico in the Yucatan. And this is a famous site for viewing bird life, especially the flamingo, which you will find in lots of areas in Southern and Central America. Very cool bird, depicted in many cartoons and front lawns for some reason. But yeah, this is the site of probably the most famous meteor impact with Earth, and that is the mass extinction event that basically killed the dinosaurs. Most of the dinosaurs. Let's have a look from above, just so you can see where. I really hope I said this place right as well. I feel as though I didn't. Anyway, so the impact zone is somewhere around here somewhere. Now, when I first looked this up, I thought, wow, the Gulf of Mexico, that's the impact zone? No, that is enormous. But it was still pretty big. The impact zone was more like, I don't know, we can see me circling the cursor. Maybe I'll put a graphic on the screen to illustrate where it is. It was 10 kilometers wide and the circumference was, I don't know, around 150 kilometers, I think. Don't do that equation in your head. I'm just riffing some facts and I don't know if they're true. So the meteor that impacted this area occurred approximately 66 million years ago, and it is thought to be the impact event that wiped out 75% of all of anything living on Earth, which is incredible. Now, this meteor was 10 to 15 kilometers in diameter, and to put that in perspective, it's probably the equivalent of a grain of sand hitting a basketball. So I know what you're thinking. How could a grain of sand, a big grain of sand, let's say it's a big grain of long rice, how could that cause a mass extinction? The Earth is precious, and if you fuck with it, shit goes wrong. But despite its relatively small size, this was still very impactful, literally impactful meteor for a couple of reasons. The reason why it was so impactful was because the energy produced when this hit the Gulf of Mexico, or just grazed the edge of the Yucatan region, up here, the energy created was the equivalent of 1 billion nuclear bombs. Imagine 1 billion of those Oppenheimers exploding at the same time. It's almost unfathomable to imagine. Let's just drop down to some street view while we're talking. So yeah, there's that. You're probably thinking, how could a piece of rice generate so much energy? It was coming at quite a pace. So the meteor hit the Earth at a staggering 20 kilometers. It was 20 kilometers. It was 20 kilometers per second. To put that in perspective, a commercial jet airliner travels at 0.2 kilometers per second, which is about 900 kilometers an hour. This bike travels at about 5 kilometers a week. So that's faster than the speed of sound. That is almost equal to, this is pretty crazy, the speed of that meteor. It's an interesting cloud, like a chanterelle mushroom. Anyway, what was I saying? Look at those. They're pretty curious features, aren't they? What are they? What a strange gutter border. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Traveling extremely fast, about twice as fast as the International Space Station orbits the Earth, and equal the speed of the Earth itself when it orbits around the sun. So the escape velocity of the Earth was no match for the meteor that was hurtling towards it. When I read 20 kilometers a second, I thought, wow, what? I thought, wow, that is not impressive. This is impressive though. Holy tostada grande. That frog is being slightly lewd. Yeah, when you frame it like 20 kilometers a second, it's not too impactful, is it? But yeah, it's about 72,000 kilometers per hour, which is an incredible speed. Probably about as fast as this Toyota here. Toyota? Mitsubishi? I don't know. I don't know cars and their logos. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just admiring some of the interesting signs and features in this town. This little statue of man with the upturned hand, with his hand on a rock or a flower. So yeah, it's funny. I find it funny navigating these spaces and just knowing the devastation that took place here 66 million years prior. Yeah, it's pretty wild. That pier looks cool. Let's see if we can go out on it and have a look. Not a cool bird. Well, it's just a seagull, but it's a cool photo of it in action. What is this? Pray tell. Let's have a look at that too. Somewhere around here, isn't it? It looks like a carnival. Perhaps there's a photo we can check out. Smattering of boats on the shore, some upturned, some being turned. Little Coca-Cola store. This actually looks like a really beautiful area. Oh, it's a donkey. This is what I was looking for in here, this little fairground. Hard to see. Not many images available of it. It looks like it's no longer in operation. What is she doing up there? Just having a little gander. And then she's gone. Okay, I want to get a good shot. There we go. There's a little sneak peek into this colourful fairground that's completely inaccessible, at least by the Google car. Okay, so yeah, this crater isn't visible anymore. It happened quite a while ago, and the actual crater site has been buried by the seafloor. But they've obviously tested the waters and tested the soils and things like that and determined that it was the impact site, because there are no dinosaurs left to testify. Now, circling back to my original image of the flamingo zone. I chose that because there was one thing that survived the extinction event, and that one thing was, I'll give you 5 yeah-nahs to figure it out. Yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah. And that is birds. Birds are the descendants of dinosaurs from I forget which species of dinosaurs, but an avian variety that had such players as the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Velociraptor. So yeah, the birds made it, and you can probably guess why. They could fly away from the wildfires and the giant, I don't know why I said wildfires, the bushfires, wildfires, whatever, and the giant tsunamis and all this toxic stuff. So there was a layer of dust that surrounded the entire Earth. Look at this. What is that? That's so weird. It's a breakwater, but it looks like, I don't know. That's just weird. The shape of those bricks. Anyway, I'm allowing myself to be distracted. Hadrosaur, surviving dinosaur. The polar event the winter that occurred afterwards because of the dramatic drop in temperature, because the sun was blocked for many years. Yeah. The lizards couldn't handle it, but the flying dinosaurs could, because they had feathers which kept them warm. They also had a more diverse diet. They would eat bugs, seeds, pretty much anything and the T-Rex only liked the flesh of dinosaurs and probably had to eat a lot more too. Couldn't survive on a few mosquitoes like a bird could. So yeah, the birds survived a mass extinction event, and yet they cannot survive your domestic cat. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty interesting, and the reason for sharing that. Great flamingo scene. What else can I say about extinction other than it's fucking terrifying? What a bad time to be a dinosaur when that occurred. At least it would have been swift and they wouldn't have known it was coming, unlike every disaster film ever. Let's move on to the next meteor, and this is called Meteor Crater, and it's one of the best examples or like most distinct impact sites available for viewing from space, given the name Impact Crater by some creative spark. This impact happened approximately 50,000 years ago and was created by a nickel-iron meteor, the Barringer meteor, discovered by an engineer, I think, who first proposed that it was a meteor impact. Anyway, traveling a similar speed to the mass extinction meteor, but was only 50 meters wide, but left a crater that was 170 meters deep, and yeah, it was significant. Made from iron too. Could you blame? So I can't believe he was met with skepticism. Like, he said, "This looks like an impact." They said, "Nah, Daniel, what are you talking about? Come on, what else could it be?" Wow. Imagine being out here on a sunny day, walking around, and you look up suddenly and you're like, holy shit. Anyway, so this place is a very popular tourist site. I only see 2 tourists in the middle, but perhaps this photo was taken, it was taken in 2012. Look at that. Yeah, very popular tourist site. It even has a closing time. Closes at 5 p.m. Should I phone them and ask them when the meteor closes?
Thank you for calling Meteor Crater and Barringer Space Museum. Please choose from one of the following options. For directions and hours, press 1. To speak with a representative, press 2. To leave a message in our general mailbox, press 3. Your call is being transferred. Please leave your name, number, and detailed message, and we will return your call as soon as we are able. To dial another extension, press 1. To leave a voicemail, press 2, or simply stay on the line. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi there, I'm phoning because I was wondering if you might be interested in sharing your 5 most interesting facts about Meteor Crater. Can you please email me at gmail.com. I'd really love to feature those facts on my geography themed YouTube channel. Okay, thanks, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye, Meteor Crater. All right, let's see if we hear from them soon. Okay, back to the show. I just realized I just had the OBS screen, and that would have been some thrilling background for you. I'll have to put something else up there instead. You don't want to know how the sausage gets made, as they say. Do they say that? I use that expression a lot, but it sounds filthy. This isn't as bad as making a sausage. This is just a blank screen with an infinity image. Back to meteors. I wonder if Meteor Crater will get back to us. What's the time in Arizona? It's only 10 a.m. It's nowhere near crater bedtime. Yeah. Hey there, it's future me. Turns out the good people at the Barringer Space Museum did get back to me. They were able to decipher my email address, and I got a great informative email. Less than 12 hours. Thanks, Andrew. And let's take a look at the email now. Okay, so here's the email from Andrew Tyler. Thank you so much, Andrew, who is the VP of Business Development at Meteor Crater. So it says, "Hi, I was recently forwarded your voicemail and wanted to provide a few facts. It would be a disservice to Andrew Tyler's diligence and ness in responding to me if I didn't. Formation. The Meteor Crater, I asked for 5 facts and he's given me 6, so thanks, Andrew. Meteor Crater was formed around 50,000 years ago when a meteorite, about 150 feet. He's even given me the meters. It's the Yank spelling for meters, but Good on you. I wonder if he detected an Australian accent and thought he would be courteous and put it in some metric. Traveled at a speed of 42,000 kilometers. That's pretty fast. Collided with Earth. The impact released an incredible amount of energy equivalent to approximately 10 megatons of TNT. They say it's one of the best preserved impact sites on Earth and provides scientists with valuable insights into the mechanics of meteorite impacts. Discovery. While Native Americans were likely aware of the crater for centuries, it gained scientific attention in the late 19th century when geologist Grove Carl Gilbert suggested it was the result of a meteorite impact rather than volcanic activity. NASA training site. Meteor crater has served as a training site for NASA astronauts preparing for lunar missions. During the Apollo program in the 1960s and 70s, Neil Armstrong, old buzzy boy, Eugene Cernan, the lesser known Eugene, they visited Meteor crater to study its geological features and simulate lunar exploration. That's pretty cool. The crater's resemblance to impact craters on the moon made it an ideal location for astronauts to train in geological fieldwork, navigation, and sample collection. It continues to be used for astronaut training and research related to planetary exploration. The crater is named after Daniel Barringer, a mining engineer who was the first to propose that it was formed by a meteorite impact. Despite initial skepticism from the scientific community, Barringer conducted extensive research and drilling operations at the site in the early 20th century to support his theory. Today, the Barringer family still owns the land surrounding the crater. And the final fact, scientific research. Meteor crater has been a site of scientific interest for over a century. Studies of the crater have provided valuable information about impact processes, cratering, there you go, planetary geology, and even the potential for extraterrestrial resource utilization. It's also a popular destination for researchers studying astrobiology and the possibility of life on other planets, as impact craters can sometimes preserve evidence of ancient microbial life. Wow, Andrew definitely saved the best fact for last, the slightly spooky allusion to the possibility of life. Andrew signed off by saying, "Hope that helps. Please let me know if you have any questions." Andrew, thank you. I really appreciate you listening to my voicemail and responding to me so quickly. Yeah, you have won 10 to 15 points back for the US, which I frequently diss on this show, but it's all in jest. Well done. All right, we are on to the next impact. This one is enormous. This is the Ford. I never know how to say the VR. I'm going to say Vredeford. I could have looked it up. I am part Dutch, but whatever. I assume that's some Dutch spelling there. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Anyway, this occurred 300 billion years ago, well before the dinosaurs. This is the biggest impact that's visible on... Actually, is that true? There's that eye in the desert. Anyway, hold on. Yeah, so I was thinking of the Eye of the Sahara, which I've shown on this channel before. I wondered if it was an impact structure, but it's saying here it was considered to be one, but they think it might just have been formed by terrestrial processes. So a slow, I don't know, it says a slow shock metamorphism. Just curious. Anyway, I thought this was perhaps bigger, but it only says 40 kilometers. So yeah, this other one's still much, much bigger, being 300 kilometers. What's the impact zone? Okay, so curiously, it was about the same size as the dinosaur extinction meteor in the Yucatan Peninsula, and it was traveling slower too. However, the crater it left is much larger. Again, this was 300 billion years ago, and 300, and the diameter of the crater is 300 kilometers. Incredible. That is massive. Yeah, and can't really see the whole thing, but you can see this part here, obviously. It looks like someone who's perhaps thinning on top and they've parted it to the side. Getting some tin vibes here, which kind of fits for South Africa. Anyway, get myself in trouble. So that's that one done. On to the next. Here it is. So you can see it. It's not the typical meteor comet shape. It's more like a frisbee or a UFO shape. And You can see all these sort of striations here. That's one edge of it. It's a cool looking river there. Super windy. How do rivers get like that? We know how they get like that. Oh gosh, I can't even find a panorama. My favorite. Let's go here at this intersection. Pretty typical Canadian houses, wouldn't you say? Like, I don't think this could be more Canadian. I have mentioned in previous shows that Canadians, they're not too fond of the front veranda. They're very business in the front, party in the back, and this is probably the most fucking hilarious front door I've ever seen. Look at that. This is how much they don't care. When they leave the house, you just have to fall to the floor. There's no stairs, there's nothing, just a door and empty space. Oh my god. If only we could see in this chap's backyard, I am sure you would. Well, he's got the jet ski and the Skoda. Curious shaped house. That must be some special design. I just want to jump to a satellite image of this person's house. They don't really have anything in the back. As far as I can tell, they have this little shed. But if you go to the neighbour's place, yeah, nothing at the front. But out here, got the back veranda. This one too, all at the back. Why? Lots of them have the jacuzzi out the back as well. Yeah, see? All these little decky things in the backyard. It's fine. I'm just curious about it, that's all. Natural curiosity, like, why even have a front door? Why have it if... Surely this is irresponsible. What if there's some seniors in the house? I want to know if there's more doors in this neighborhood that just end like some twisted Mario level where you just fall into the abyss. When you come to visit, you knock on the door, they open it, and you're just staring at their fucking socks. Oh my gosh, I'm so amused. These kids down here have noticed the Street View car, I believe, following it, wondering what it's doing. They're going to run into their homes, or try to. Their knees are going to just smash into concrete brick because the door isn't where it's supposed to be. Very funny and curious. Curious counters popping off tonight. Scooch down the street and find another one of these ridiculous houses. Maybe he just likes to jump from the door straight into the tray of the truck. I don't know. There might be a really interesting reason for it. This is another extremely curious entry into a home. Slightly complicated. Might not be the front actually, because they're on the corner block. That's a point too. I should go back. No, don't try to explain the weird door. Even if it was on the corner, they still have a door attached to their house that is on a precipice, and you just fall to your death when you leave it. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I came here to look at an impact. Maybe the comet blew away that person's back step. Yeah, so the Sudbury Meteor was made of nickel and iron, which probably explains why this road is called Nickel Offset Road. Probably a lot of mining for nickel took place in this area. This looks like a place that's been potentially mined. It's a road leading to a pit. That's usually indicative of a mine. I really like this one a lot. It looks ghoulish and, I don't know, like some kind of weird ghosty monster thing that you might see in Pac-Man or something like that. This is the Lake Acraman impact structure. So Acraman was the name of a colonial businessman. So a stand-up gent, a colonial businessman. Oh my god. Anyway, there's a few places around here called Acraman, that would be unsurprising to you, because that is the nature of the colonial businessmen. They like to claim sacred spaces that aren't their own and put their name on all of them. Seemingly no reason other than to just be a horrible colonial businessman. This is in Australia, this is in South Australia. Yeah, it is, because this is part of the Eyre Peninsula. We've heard of that chap Eyre before too. He's put his name on fucking millions of things. This crater is in an area that's commonly known as the Gawler Ranges. However, the traditional owners of this land are the Barngarla, Kokatha and Wirangu peoples. So this impact event is unique for a couple of reasons. This crater is, I think, 90 kilometers across. Anyway, so this meteor event or impact event resulted in one of the largest ejector beds ever found or discovered. Ejector is, of course, the rocks and granite and metal that sort of ejects out of the space after the impact. So yeah, the ejector material has been discovered 300 kilometers away from this site. So that was quite the impact. It just reminded me of a fact from the first meteor we looked at, which was, of course, the Chicxulub meteor event in the Yucatan region, which I suddenly can't find because I don't know geography. Anyway, here in Yucatan, the ejector from this enormous extinction event or impact event that killed the dinosaurs, it was so insane. Once the meteor impacted the Earth, it created ejector that flew so high it went back into space, and then it fell out of space and hit the Earth. Imagine bouncing a ball so it ends up in space. It's crazy. Yeah, then that fell down and hit the Earth again, probably killed some poor surviving dinosaur. Crazy, the ejector. Okay, all right, we'll just look at one more. This one, I liked this image. This is the Poppy Gay, I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it, impact event that occurred in Siberia. And this one occurred about 500 or 600 million years ago. Not a lot of imagery out here in Siberia. When I was looking at this, where is the actual crater? Hold on. Oh, here. This is the crater here, around the Poppy Gay River. I believe that's it. I can't imagine it being this whole thing. No, Siberia is massive. I think it's just this part here, but I'm actually not too sure. Anyway, I wanted to get an image from the area that wasn't just a satellite image, and the closest one I could find was this here, and just thought, what is this landscape? Like, I'm sorry, this is fucking bleak as shit. Siberia, hey? Got these classic Soviet era style buildings, discoloration, dilapidated. Yeah, so much mud too, mixed with the snow. It makes for an interesting landscape. Must be a hard life, that's for sure, living out here. Some huge smokestacks out here, and yeah, it just all looks a bit fucked, doesn't it? Not like, how do you get around? These are obviously mining towns, but the buildings, the residential buildings just look, I assume they're residential. I might be making an incorrect assumption. Maybe we should look this town up. Okay, so this is one of the infamous closed cities in Russia. There are lots of closed cities in Russia. Closed city means a city that you need special permission to live in and to leave. And these are usually cities that, I don't know, perhaps they might be mining a resource, or they might have some military buildings or something like that. Let's just click on closed city. I've clicked on it before and see what it says. So yeah, such places may be a sensitive military establishment, secret research. It says many existed in the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Yeah, so closed cities are often not even represented on a map, and there's often no signs that will lead you to those cities. These cities, closed cities, formed during the Cold War era and have continued to exist ever since. And there's special rules for living in them that you can see on Google Maps. It's not even, someone's taken a sneaky panorama. There's actually a lot in this town to go through all of them, because Max Burger, what are they? That polar bear looks familiar. I mean, it's not that closed. We're looking at these photos. 6 photos for an entire town isn't a lot, is it? But we've neglected to see what is actually happening in this city. So it's the second largest city in the region after Krasnoyarsk, which we've covered as well. Yes, so it has one of the largest nickel deposits on Earth. There's lots of smelting and mining here. Very interesting. Perhaps I'll do an episode on closed cities. That could be curious too. Wow. They're filming this pipe, which is interesting. It's letting off some steam, but they're filming it next to this in construction church. Onion-shaped dome, common for this orthodoxy. Yeah, sorry, I just get obsessed with looking at panoramas, especially in places like this. There's some classic meta there, the yellow border on the pedestrian crossing. You would want to have plenty of time to cross these tracks walking through that snow. Sorry. Oh, I thought they had a tail. Yeah, fuck. It's so cold looking. It's that same person just staring into a corner. All right, let's just look at one more and then carry on. Looks like they're painting. Who knows what time of day it is? That is as high as the sun's getting all day. So this particular impact site in Siberia is curious because when the meteor hit this place, where is it? I don't know. I've lost it, but somewhere around here. The impact was powerful and generated so much pressure that the graphite that existed under the earth, or the graphite deposit that the meteor hit, it hit it so hard, it literally, in a matter of seconds, no more than a minute, when that impact occurred, the graphite turned into diamonds because of the enormous pressure it was put under. And what an amazing thing. Like, how does that even happen? I know exactly how it happens. This type of occurrence of making insta diamonds is called shock metamorphism. And yeah, it happens in a matter of seconds when the enormous pressure that's being put on graphite, which is carbon, so much pressure and heat that the structure literally moves, rearranges from, I'll just show you the structure here. If you look at the diagram on the left, you will see that on the right you have the graphite. So graphite, I guess is what's in a pencil, maybe. No, that's not true. That's lead. No, we use graphite pencils now. We don't use lead in our pencils. Holy shit. Maybe we went to school in the 70s. Anyway, yeah, these kind of like flat structures. Imagine these three things. So that's why you break graphite, like shards off or whatever. But once the pressure was put on this graphite, it turned into this sort of latticey, more compressed structure here, which is of course a diamond. Important to remember that the graphite and the diamond, the exact same element being carbon, but yeah, obviously vastly different things, but yeah, still the same. It's a good metaphor for life, isn't it? Two people being the same, essentially. We're all the same, we're all humans, but our environments can significantly impact us. And basically, yeah, you really never know if you're going to be craft diamond, do you? Or anything in between. But we're all just carbon. We are actually. There is a lot of carbon in here, just so you know. Alright, that's enough about meteorites. That is an hour of meteorites with barely any meteorite facts. But if you have one, leave it in the comments. If you want to correct something I've said, put that in there as well. Cool. Let's go on to the next thing. Okay, so it turns out the next thing was me falling asleep at the helm. So I'm back again to finally record the conclusion of this episode. So 3 Geoguessr maps. I'm going to rip through them. There's no delaying. This is a huge episode, and I'm not sure if it's very interesting. First one I've selected, it's called Big Ass Fucking Holes in the Ground, and the subtitle says They Are Holes. It's by Derek May. Let's have a quick look at Derek's other maps. We always do this because we like to get the vibe for someone. We've got 4 maps. One's named after the man and the myth themselves. I'm guessing he's American. Then he has one on Paris and one just simply called Scam. So yeah, it really paints a portrait of Derek, doesn't it? Let's begin with Derek's first map. Big ass fucking holes in the ground. Let's have a lookie. You know the drill, no moving allowed. No music allowed. Good, didn't happen. This is a hole. This is a structure that has a sunken part to it that I suppose is a hole. Not gonna, overthink it. Just accept Derek's map for what it is. Now, this looks like a sacred site, a temple of some description. guess I will go. Wish I could see that little country code there. Thinking it's... I have to go India somewhere. To where? I'll just go near Jaipur. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry. That's a pretty good guess. 62 kilometers away. Holy shit. Ah, what a great guess. Yeah, there was just something Jaipuri about. Anyway, love that. Love that so much. Okay, here's a big hole. Looks like a silo of some description. Looks fucking terrifying, doesn't it? Got all these lads here and their hard hats. Where are these lads from? Oh, there is a woman there as well. That's nice. Some engineering students looking at this marvel, this pit. I don't know. I'm going to go Indonesia for some reason. But hold on. Is that silly? Why would they have this? This, actually, I'm going to go... Oh, was this already zoomed in? Yes. No, I zoomed it in. I'm going to go Japan. Changed my tune. We'll just go somewhere in Tokyo. Am I having a golden round? I'm sorry. 38 kilometers. Am I a genius? Suddenly occurred to me, it looked like it had a nuclear silo vibe. I don't know if it actually was one. And Japan, of course, has nuclear facilities. I probably shouldn't have put it in downtown Tokyo. Anyway, let's see what it was. It just says First Shaft Metropolitan Area Outer. Let's go look at that quickly. Is it this one or the other one? First Shaft. Okay, let's just see what it's called from the outside. What do they do here? Look at this image. That's pretty cool too. This is where you enter one of these little huts up top, and all that is taking place under there. So it's an underground exploration museum. Whoa, this place is cool. Oh, I love it. This is a cool image. Just tab over. I want to explore that a little bit later. We should get back to big ass fucking holes. We're having a pretty good round. 3 for 3. Ooh. I think we've struck luck here. Struck luck? Gold? We have. Because we know where this is. We know where this is. Thanks to Andrew Tyler and the chaps at the Barringer Space Museum. It's in Arizona. But, gosh, where in Arizona? I wasn't paying attention to that part, was I? No, I wasn't. And Arizona is a big state. This is, of course, Meteor Crater, as mentioned not that long ago. All right, it's out of town. We know that much. It's not going to be up here in the Tonto National Forest. It's going to be in a flatter area. I wonder if it's Tuba City. All right, I wish I'd paid... Oh, is it Prescott? I have a feeling it is somewhere around here, actually. That is just coming to mind, Prescott. I'm going to go there anyway. Okay. It was pretty close, but it wasn't Prescott. It was, let's see. There's nothing really. Winslow's the closest. It's turning into a pretty fantastic round, which will sadly probably come to an end now. Let's see. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in trouble, that's for sure. My first thought when I saw this was that it was Berlin. I don't know why, but then this looks like an Australian plant. Hold on. Is it like that bottle brush type thing? I think so. The bark doesn't look right. Alright, Gemma, and it says pony boys over here. English words, what else? In these trees, but again, that bark isn't, it's different to what I expected, the bark on the tree I'm thinking of. They're definitely in the northern hemisphere, bit under. I think the fact that they're English words will have much of an impact on where this actually is. Lots of people write in English, and I imagine that happens with graffiti too. I just noticed that this photographer down here, it says keyboard shortcuts. Their name is Toralf Nebby Burge, and that to me sounds like a Scandi name. So based on that and that alone, I might have to pick one of these fucking places. Copenhagen, Gothenburg. Look, I feel like this is a sign actually. This is a sign, because this guy's surname is Berg, and here we have Bergen here. I reckon Norway. Would it be wise to go for Bergen just based on that, or should we just go to Oslo? These are the real hard-hitting questions here, aren't they? It's a cool shot too. Look, I want to pick Bergen, but if this is some sort of silo Would it be this far out? It's not that big. It could be, couldn't it? And Bergen actually looks like a big city. All right. Should I go Bergen or should I cross over to Oslo? I'm going to go Bergen. Bet it's Oslo. Oh my God. Can you fucking believe it? Oh man, I would have had such a good score. It's still over 4,000. Is the map about holes literally my ultimate dream round? Funny otherwise. All right, let's get real. At New Duit Gang. I'm concerned about this one. Ooh, Orangi Toyota. Oh, hold on. Oh, there's a flag on the side of the car. Can we trust it? All right, okay. Yeah, so that was the flag of South Africa. I thought that was a reindeer on that road. From here, it looks like a reindeer. Check it out. Hello, Rudolph. Won't you make my guess so bright? Okay, South Africa, sure. Looking south and the clouds are out that way. What is that telling me? It's telling me absolutely nothing. There's this word here, but I just think it means like beware or emergency. Yes, I think we have to go South Africa based on the flag on the car. And where would make the most sense? It's big country. We're just going to have to go for Joburg. Just based on perhaps some of the landscape. A few little hills out there. Yeah, let's just chuck it in anyway. Say we are out here somewhere. Okay. Oh my God. It's the only round I didn't get over 4,000. Still a good round. Alright, let's look at that result. 21,000 for that. If only I paid a little bit more attention on the last one, it would have been perfect 25,000. No. Alright, let's get cracking on the next one. Dinosaurs of the world. I might put a time limit on this one, just because I'm going to go eat a snack. This is cruel. I expect to do badly. Just a heads up. Alright, I think we've elected 56, 52. Okay, we've got a cute dinosaur there. A photosaurus. It's certainly posing. We're going to go to Mexico for this one. And not because of the stereotypes, but because of the upside down exclamation mark. And we'll just go somewhere. Mexico City. Okay. There's some other place that speaks Spanish. Never mind. Those cactuses really threw me. There's a cactus in my yard. Ooh, a snow dinosaur. Getting some Soviet playground vibes here. Although, it's not that. Hard to tell, isn't it? It's going to be hard to get a good push on this one, that's for sure. Look, this is... I've got those onion-shaped ornamental thingy bobberoos. I'm going to have to go Russia for this one for sure. And the only thing I can think to do is to pick somewhere near St. Petersburg. Alright, nice. Not so bad strike for Russia, that's for sure. Country lane. A little bit of rubbish around. Person down there. This is giving me... It's giving. It's giving. I'm going to say... Oh no, this is where it all comes crashing down, doesn't it? Because I don't even know what continent we're on. Although, that sun's looking like it's... Oh yeah, fuck, I don't know. Let's go somewhere in Malaysia. That's so wrong. Okay, just the Philippines. I knew it was Southeast Asia somewhere, but... What are you going to do? Got a big old Diplodocus who met a comb and had a baby. This dinosaur looks like a comb. Alright, and we are wasting time. Let's see what's about. Dinosaur Park. Oh no. Oh shit. I fell asleep. No, I fell asleep. A little micro sleep. Why does that keep happening to me? Probably because I keep going to bed late. Alright, no more sleepy times. Terribly grainy photo. This kid is like the child from the film Jurassic Park, running for their life, and I suppose this guy's the Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, this is a strange little dinosaur facility. I have no idea where this might be, but I think I'll just go to the US. Yeah, okay. Yep, things are going downhill now. Okay, had a little taste of the good life, the good Geoguessr life. Winning every round over 4K. That was nice. Now it's over, just like real life. Okay, This one is called A Ridiculous World, and I picked this because it sounded fun. It doesn't really relate to anything we've discussed. I was going to say over the past few days, which would be accurate because I've recorded this in lots of weird sections. Anyway, let's go with A Ridiculous World, then I'll put an end to this ridiculously long episode. Okay, cluesies available. We've got Martin and Sevevre. I thought I saw a flag, but that looks like it could be just a supermarket flag, couldn't it? We've got the umlauts of these words. Could be any of those umlaut joints, couldn't it? The Guzzler Bill Capital Hotel. Guzzler. It's not Goslar. Goslar Phil. What's he doing? Sorry, what's ridiculous about this round? I forgot what we were playing. Is that guy giving us the fuck you, the bird? I think this must be the ridiculous part. He's acting quite strange. I think he's trying to hide his face. Boomers, they're not very trustworthy. Understandably, it's easy to take advantage of them. I said that as if that's something I like doing, but no, I tried to prevent that from happening. Now I'm rambling. I'm going to have to edit this whole section out. All right, here we are out the front of the Best Western Capital Hotel. These umlauts and this word here is giving me Scandi vibes again, and I'm going to go with Sweden. We'll go, let's see. Cool, it's just Stockholm. Should always go the capitals if you're not sure. I wonder if this is an image of the Blue Grotto, but not blue. No, I think this is more likely to be Long Bay in Vietnam, based on those boats. I think that's the best I can do, but I guess I could look a bit longer, but so we're just gonna go Ha Long Bay, which is up here. Where is it? There it is, Ha Long. Look like a little caveroo, so we'll just go here, see what happens. Damn it, it wasn't. It was actually Thailand, or Thailand, as Zach Galifianakis would say. And this little island out here called Lang, I think that's what it's called, on the Strait of Malacca. Forgot to check for ridiculousness in that last one. But yeah, I mean, this is a ridiculous site too. Getting some UAE vibes here. Number plate. Look, my first thought was that this is in the UAE, or that area, because of the climate and this expensive car that's just in the middle of nowhere. It's just a Nissan, isn't it? But you're picking up what I'm putting down, hopefully. Now, that is a sun that's just above us, so not useful, is it? I don't really love this guess. I actually think it will be very wrong. Will you get fucked? Why do I doubt myself? All the evidence was there. I don't even think they have red plates in the UAE. I think the diplomatic plates are red. I'm having a pretty clutch round tonight. A few bad guesses, but get the fuck out of town. Was it even in the UAE though? I don't think so. I think it was Oman in the end. Oh no, it was. Just snuck in. It was just outside the Jebel Hafid beehive tomb. Jump back. Let's have a look at that. Hopefully there's an image. Yes, there is an image of the beehive tombs. Let's go check it out. Okay. Ooh, I see now. They look like beehives. Gotcha. They're not actually the tombs of bees. I didn't think they honoured bees in that way. Alright, I'm going to leave that one to the side too because I'm not done exploring there yet. On to the next round. Yes, this is a ridiculous world, isn't it? We are in a scary fucking tunnel. Now this is going to be a difficult. There's not much to go on at all. Obviously there's caves all over the world. Now, Mithril. Is this Kazakhstan? No, I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings, but this does look like Mithril. Silver mine. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. This is tricky to say the least. There's some water in this cave. I would not go in here. On the way to the Unisalt Flats, and in this town, one of the things you could do is buy some dynamite. Literally buy dynamite, and then you could deliver it to the mine, and that was like as a gift to the miners. Because dynamite's, I don't know, expensive. It was like a little touristy trap thing, but that was an option. One of the activities you could participate in when you got off the bus in Potosi in Bolivia, you could, fucking buy dynamite. There's a lot going on in these walls. It could be anything. It's lit. Some water. Just have no idea. Let's just go with granite mine. Something mine. Cobalt. Maybe it's in the US. Yeah, this is a toughie, isn't it? Maybe somewhere in Texas. We'll just go to Childress or whatever. Yeah, I fucking knew it. Gosh, that was bad. Very bad last guess. It was the Kinsale mine, Mabu mine shaft. And I'd love to know what they are mining there. Alright, let's see what type of mine it is. It says the Okubo Mabu mine shaft. Open 24 hours. No, I can't. Alright. Okay, so it's a silver mine. That makes sense. Silver bells. Because, check this out. This is the silver. I thought it looked really shiny. Shiny! Cool. I've got a little silver to source there. Let's put that to the side as well and carry on. That might be the end of our... No, there's one more. No. Looks like they've lifted this off the M79 in Melbourne and just dumped it somewhere in the middle of nowhere. This feels like something that would happen in a Scandi place, doesn't it? This ultra modern art just out in the beautiful, sprawling, mountainous countryside. I am really unsure about this one. I am very unsure. Sun in the south, so we're in the northern hemisphere. Narrows it down some, but not much. These pines up here. Like I had some vibes that made me think it was maybe somewhere Mediterranean Europe, but then there's the pines and there's the weird art and the very, I would say, pretty flat landscape. I think maybe I'm going to go Finland or something for this one, which is pretty flat. I mean, it's quite dry though too, but it's the Christmas trees that I was admiring. Oh, I have no idea. Look, I'm just going to go this place here. Yeah, it was a bad guess. My original thought, and I didn't voice it because I've never really explored these areas before, but I was going to guess North Macedonia first, and I wish I had. It would have been a much closer guess. What a round. I had some good ones in there. Yeah, the UAE one was pretty good. All right, that is the conclusion of this episode. I'm so sorry. It's got a bit all over the place, dragged on for a while. But anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, hooroo.